Okay, welcome to another video.
Today we're looking at the Pioneer CT-F650 stereo cassette deck from 1980. But first, before we start looking at the features of this, we've got to solve a mystery.
The mystery of the missing power button.
Yes, what happened to the power button? There's nothing here but a big hole. You know, that's why we got this thing so cheap. But it looks like it's in pretty decent shape, so let's take off the cover and see if we can get to the bottom of this mystery. What do you think the mystery is?
Spring problem?
Yeah, well, a spring problem. Yeah, there it is. Oh, wow. So as it turns out, the power button is just hiding on the inside of this thing. So that mystery was kind of anticlimactic. Mystery solved there. So as you can see, the button won't press now without that spring. So I can kind of make the power come on with a screwdriver. But I'm going to take off the front so I can get to the little screw there that holds the power switch in. And if I can get that out of there, I will just try to fix it with some glue. Anyway, gotta snap that wire thing off there. So the problem's pretty evident with the power button off. You know, it's just a plastic piece that's broken. I tried to glue it with Gorilla Glue and using a toothpick to hold the spring back, but it did not work. The force of that spring is way too much, and it's not really worth investing in a new power switch because it's kind of worn out. So I'm just gonna kind of just stick it in there. Here are the heads. The heads are in great shape, and it's just a little bit dingy and dusty. If you see some of this video, you can see some cobwebs, but the belts are all old. That one on the left there looks a little flaky, but rather than get into all that, I'm just gonna use a little alcohol on a Q-tip, try to clean off some of the rollers, and we'll see how it works.
Let's try this thing.
We'll use this old financial tape we got from the Cassette changer.
Bow!
Wait. Here we go. You gotta close it before you play.
Oh.
There you go.
We currently have over 11,000 members, and 22% of those are family members.
Seems like it works.
We consider that to be very important in our...
I just gotta rebuild it.
Yeah. All right, so the bottom has these panels. Before I put it back together, the bottom has these panels, so it looks like it would be easy to work on. And on the top, if you had to take out the cassette mechanism, it looks like it would be pretty easy to get to. So I think this would be a good one to work on. So now that we've got it back together, let's test it out, see how it works. Pretty nice looking tape deck. At the end of this video, we'll play a recording off of it of some sample YouTube stuff. This cassette deck first came out in the Pioneer 1979 and 1980 catalog. The feature it advertised was the Pioneer Music Select, or PMS, system. Unfortunate naming there. It was, kind of a mid-range deck. It was, 1, 2, 3, 4th from the bottom. The two very topmost decks were computer logic controlled, the top one being like direct drive motors. If you went below the 650, you lost metal capability. If you went above it, you gained auto reverse. You remember the JVC, the silver JVC deck? We did a video. I'll put a link to it. This deck was in direct competition with it. It was the highlight of the cassette area. Had metal tapes, Nakamichi, a lot of other high-end brands being advertised in audio magazines in 1979, 1980. Now let's talk about PMS, or Pioneer Music Search. To do that, you just flip down that switch, which causes the fast forward rewind buttons to lock, and it'll skip forward or backwards till it detects the next 4-second point of silence. Of course, if you have it in the Q review position, they're like momentary press buttons. Interesting to note, too, on this button placement, the buttons are not uniformly placed. They're grouped together, so fast forward, rewind together, and record, play, etc. Also note the lack of words like fast forward or rewind, because in the auto reverse era, those buttons are getting you to calculate the direction you need to go, even though this deck doesn't have auto reverse itself. Dolby is just Dolby B, I suppose. Of course, you got the record mute switch there, which helps with the music search. The output level is one of the nicer features. A lot of tape decks have a headphone jack, but there's no volume control. This one actually controls the volume. There's a nice little indentation around the midpoint. It's a really cool feature, and it doesn't affect record level either. And there's a timer switch, so when the power comes on, you can have the deck automatically start playing or recording. That's about it. We'll leave you with some sounds. Yeah, we'll play some YouTube sounds. Anything else you want to add?
See you next time for another video. I'm fitting a homemade airport.
Awesome. Bye.